Let's see what's cooking. Let's get the facts. Let's see what's cooking. It's time for Yo-Yo Max 12.
Hey everybody, today we're doing Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse cupcakes two ways. First way is like a simple silhouette. I iced a cupcake in white buttercream icing and then simply placing half of an Oreo cookie on the top of the icing and then two smaller Oreo cookies. These are miniature Oreo cookies that are sold as a snack here. And you stick them in to the icing, hold them on there, and there's your basic Mickey Mouse silhouette. Now for the cupcake wrapper, I printed these out on the internet, and you can see how it has this nice curve on the bottom. You need that for it to wrap around the cupcake properly. I will give you a link to those wrappers in the description box. So I actually made my own with red construction paper, and I just had to alter a little bit just to get it the right length and the right width. But the template that I showed you will give you an idea of how much of a curve you need at the bottom of the paper and at the top of the paper. And then simply wrap it around the cupcake, and you're going to glue it together or just use a piece of tape. So what happens is that the wrapper at the bottom and the wrapper at the top are two different sizes, and it stays on the cupcake quite nicely. They don't fall off. Now to make the cupcake wrapper look a little like Mickey Mouse's pants, I'm going to just glue on two simple white buttons on the front. Now you can do this before putting it on the cupcake, of course, if you're going to do a whole bunch of them. And for Minnie Mouse, same idea. The wrapper, I'm going to use this polka dot paper. I actually printed that out from the internet as well. There's lots of patterned papers available for you to print out for free. I will put the link of that in the description box as well if you're interested. But I had to actually stick two pieces together because it wasn't quite long enough. But you can't even see the seam. Now for Minnie Mouse's hair bow, I'm using fruit roll-ups in red, and simply cutting it in half to get the right width, and then just folding the edges over to make the bow shape. Now the great thing with these fruit roll-ups is if you just add a little bit of water to it, it'll stick together. So that acts kind of like the glue, works out really great. So I'm just snipping off the excess piece, and then you have the basic shape of the bow. And for the center of the bow, it's just another little piece, adding a little bit of water to make it sticky, and wrapping it around. Opening up the bow a little bit to make it look more realistic. And then you can just use a little bit of white icing to glue it to the ears. And then you're done. Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. Now I found that the bow wasn't quite right, so I'm adding my own polka dots with some white icing in a piping bag with a little writing tip. You could also use regular polka dot ribbon, and of course that wouldn't be edible, but that's another option that you have. But I thought these little fruit roll-up ribbons worked out quite nicely. And I'm just going to glue it onto the cupcake with a little bit of white icing, and I think that's a lot cuter. Now, another alternative to Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse cupcakes was to ice a cupcake with black icing that I've made with just black food coloring and white icing. But this time I'm using Oreo cupcake halves. And what I've done is I've just cut a little bit of the bottom of the Oreo cookie just to make it flat on the bottom. And if you have enough icing on your cupcake, you won't need to use toothpicks. If you put lots of icing, the icing will hold the cookies in place. But I didn't want to use too much icing on this one, so I used just the little toothpicks to hold it into place so they won't fall off. Just make sure you tell people there's toothpicks in the cupcakes when you serve them. You can see where I cut the bottom of the cookie off with a serrated knife. So we add the ears, and then I'm going to add the bow that I made before. And there you go. Pretty much done. Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse cupcakes. You can tell me which ones are your favorite. I like the ones with the black icing the most. My husband kind of found them funny though, because he kept wanting to know when I was going to draw on the eyes and the nose and that kind of stuff. But these are kind of like stylized Mickey Mouse cupcakes. Give them a try.